Hello, my name is P.T. Hylton. Yes, I did get a haircut. Thank you for noticing. Have you ever had one of those nights when you come home from a long night out clubbing in Chicago, the city you live in, only to find out that you've been possessed by an ancient alien entity and you've been drafted into a war for the future of humanity? I know, who hasn't, right? That is the very relatable story of the book we're going to talk about today, The Lives of Tao by Wesley Chu. So, in the sci-fi action comedy of The Lives of Tao, we have the story of an alien race that long, long ago crashed onto Earth, and their ship was destroyed. And the frustrating thing for this powerful, intelligent alien race is that they cannot survive in Earth's atmosphere. So they have to attach themselves to Earth's creatures and basically inhabit Earth's creatures in order to survive. The good news for them is they're basically eternal. If they can do that, they do not die. So all in all, not a bad deal, I guess. The goal of these aliens is to get back to their home world. However, there's two different factions who have different plans on how they want to go about doing that. Both groups agree that they have to basically ride it out until humanity develops enough that we're able to create interstellar space travel so that they can go home. However, there's one group that thinks the best way to move that along is by creating a lot of conflicts among humanity, creating a lot of wars. The idea being that in times of war, innovation is greater, and more wars means more technology, means humanity moves faster. So that group is inhabiting people, always trying to cause conflicts and start wars among humanity. The other group believes there's a more peaceful way to do it. So these aliens are kind of trying to stop the other aliens from starting wars and trying to promote technology through more peaceful means. So two guesses which ones are the good guys in this story. Our main character is this guy named Rowan Tan, basically an overweight, kind of depressed, not very motivated guy, works in an IT job that he really hates, and doesn't have a lot going for him. He goes out to the bars on the weekends, tries to strike up some conversations with some women, and never goes well. At the start of our story, one of these aliens is possessing a James Bond type, awesome type figure, and normally what happens is when the host dies, the alien being goes into the body of a person who's been prepped for this task, has been trained, and is ready. Some circumstances occur, so this alien's host is killed out in the wild, and he can only stay alive in Earth's atmosphere for a few minutes, so he has to quick inhabit the first person he sees, which is our hero, Rowan. And Rowan, kind of gets drafted into this war, and you can kind of see where it goes from there. The basic idea of this really nerdy, out of shape guy who's being drafted into this interstellar war. When aliens possess Rowan and other people, basically what they do is they just go into their mind and are like a voice in their head. They can control you a little bit if you're unconscious or if you're sleeping. They can kind of move you like a marionette, jerkily along. However, they're for the most part, they're just kind of there as an advisor. They're talking to you to talk you through things. It's kind of cool because having one of these is basically like having a photographic memory, and all of human history is recorded in there. So lots of good benefits to that. A couple things that did surprise me about this book were, first of all, how it did take kind of a realistic bent on what it would take for someone like our hero to prepare to be like basically a secret agent. I was expecting him to jump right into the field, kind of like on the TV show Chuck, where you just have like a bumbling guy out in the field, kind of bumbling his way to success at times and at times screwing up missions. In this story, though, it's like Rowan spends the first 2 years after the alien inhabits him training and getting into shape, which in one way is way more realistic than them just throwing him out into the field. On the other hand, I would like to see a little more of him bumbling out in the field. We do get to see some of that, but it would have been more fun, I think, to see a little bit more of that. The other thing that surprised me about this book was actually how, since it's billed as kind of a comedy, sci-fi comedy, I was surprised by how actually action-packed and exciting it really was. Once they do get out in the field, there is lots of just really exciting scenes that had me turning the pages, wanting to know what happened next. It was very, very exciting all around. One nitpick I do have about the story is they basically tell the story of this alien who's inhabiting Rowan. He talks about, all the past people he's inhabited over the years, and basically it kind of implies that essentially every great person in history, every leader was possessed by one of these aliens. Kind of a depressing message in a way, in that all of humanity's great accomplishments have been done just because these aliens are possessing us and driving us to do certain things. So it's a little depressing that way. The other thing is it makes a big deal in the story about how hard both groups are working to get people they possess into political office in the United States, and the other group is always foiling them. They might spread a scandal about their candidate, or in extreme cases, perhaps even assassinate their candidate. However, when they talk about the past, it seems like every world leader in history has been one of these people that are possessed by these aliens. So I'm not entirely sure why it's really hard now to get someone into power, and it wasn't then. One last huge strong point of the book, I would say, is the ending. And obviously, I'm not going to say what the ending is because I don't want to spoil it, but many of my favorite books, have terrible endings. Endings are hard. This book has a great ending, in my opinion. It's one of the better ones I've read recently. It's very exciting right up until the end, and it has a great little twist at the end. Doesn't leave you with a cliffhanger. It resolves everything, but at the same time, it spins the story into a new, interesting way that does make me want to read the sequel, The Deaths of Tao, which I will be doing sometime soon. So there you have it, The Lives of Tao by Wesley Chu. Check it out. I will be back next week to talk about a book about a small town with a secret. Not going to say which one. You'll have to watch and see. In the meantime, I will talk to you later. And until then, thanks for watching and keep reading.